Welcome back to Income Trading 101. I have been away for quite a while, had a couple of challenges with YouTube itself, and I'm back at it. So wanted to take a look at Ethereum. This is one of the cryptocurrencies I do trade. And trading is a very different thing than buy and hold. I try to remind myself of that because sometimes you have an opportunity to sell up in these regions, and instead you hold it down to here and decide to sell it at a low. Don't do that. I've done a little bit of that. I've gotten much more used to the volatility of cryptocurrency, and nowadays you just sort of wait it out. But that being said, waiting it out and trading it are two different things. So I do like the fact that it seems like, in late January, a few weeks ago, we did see a bottoming out of Ethereum, and it looks to be coming on back up. We had a little pull off, but it's, this could easily end up trailing higher. So best way to do this is to do what I always do, and that's just take a look at some of the technicals, look for technical analysis around this particular name. So I do like to start off very simply. You guys have seen me do this before. Some moving averages. We'll get 2 or 3 of those in there. And I'm going to come in and alter them, of course. I'd like to have, we're going to go ahead and do we'll do a 10, a 20, and a 60. Make sure my 10 is actually that's going to be my fast one. So we're going to put that in green. Give us an idea of what's going on recently. We're going to take the second one, of course, turn it into the 20-day, just like I always did prior. This is actually one of the ways I look at these. It's the way I look at the markets in general. And then I like to see a longer, like a 3-month. I can leave that in yellow. That's quite all right. So look at here. This is really interesting. Let's tighten this up a little bit. When you pull this on out, let's tighten it up to be right at around a year worth of data. There we go. That's roughly a year, a little more than a year actually, but it's interesting. Any time that we've seen the crossover of actual price going below this 60-day time frame, look at what's happened. I mean, it really has stayed below, and then it tested back here in June, went further down, and once it got above that period, we saw a rally, about came a little bit below there, and then it rallied higher again. So if we see that as a possibility where this 60-day has actually been a really strong indicator, like here, price went below the 60-day and we haven't crossed back above it yet. So that's good to know, because we're still below the 60-day, but we're touching it right now. You got to touch there, touch here. We'll see if this week or in the coming days we go above it. That might be a great indication of when to get long, right? When to get long Ethereum. So let's go ahead and take this down to the, let's look at the hour for much shorter term periods. So on the hour basis, we do see once again this 60-day turns into a 60-hour, which is basically a little more than 7 trading days. But look at this: when it touches this longer term trend, it really does bounce higher. So this period here over the last few days really makes me think that maybe we are starting to see a pullback, or not a pullback, but a continuation back to an upward movement in here. Obviously the shorter time frames are just going to show us more of what's happened, but we seem to be going higher. So let's go ahead. We'll look down to the 5-minute as well. 5 minutes is a little more difficult. It's going to be a lot more volatile. We do have a scenario here at the 5-minute where this is looking bearish because the 10 period is below the 20, which is below the 60. But let's take this back out to the hour. So in the hour standpoint, we have the green, which the 10-day is above the 20. Now, these are so tight. What I'm more interested in right now is that they're all above the 60 period, 60 hour. And just to take it all the way back to the daily, we had a scenario that was bearish because actually it's indecisive, but largely bearish because you have a scenario where the 10 is higher than the 20. So this is a period of consolidation. We have a change going on, a possible change going on in the direction of the trend. And we are bumping right against prices, bumping right against that 60-day period. So very, very interesting, very hopeful even. I'm hoping we can pull above that so that my Ethereum goes higher. So let's go ahead now. We're going to get rid of these, jump over to a little bit of a MACD, just to get a better sense of what's going on here. There we go. MACD. So we do have a crossover that happened below the zero line. So this is very much bullish. And as of right now, you can barely see that blue line. The actual MACD line has come on higher, and we've got with the blue line higher than the red. That is certainly bullish. I like it when both of these lines cross above the zero line. Makes it a lot more of a positive indication. Let's take it down to say a 1 hour to get a sense. So at the 1 hour level, we did have that crossover back. Actually, we had our first crossover back here earlier in February. The 1 hour is just a lot more volatile anyway, but I like the fact that we still at the 1 hour are above the zero line, even though we appear to be starting to trend a little lower at that level. And I bet at the 5 minute, it's going to kind of be the same. Just a lot more volatility that you're looking at in a compressed time frame. So let's extend it back. We're going to get rid of this and just go with some good old-fashioned Fibonacci numbers. So I do want to pull this on out. Get that's a little more than a year, but we'll do a year. We'll do a year. We're going to look at the last great movement in this and see if we can. I think I'm going to go. I like to see a little bit of a. It just keeps going lower. So we'll just take it from, say, the roughly end of 2020. Actually, I am in the wrong setting. Sorry about that, everyone. Let's see. Nope. That's why I did the Fibonacci channel. I do love how, so TradingView offers all of these. You've got Fibonacci circles. I know some guys that swear by that. You've got Gann fans. Gann has some really great books. The one I really wanted was just Fibonacci retracement. That way we can pull this across and see where we might be. So my goal is to get this to the tippy top. And there we go. So what we have right now, so we have pulled back. So from the larger trend, we actually had a pullback all the way down to the 61.8% level. And now we're bouncing back. I like it when I see price drop off of previous highs or lows or previous Fibonacci retracements of larger trends. That lets me know that Fibonacci retracement might be active here. This might be something that's of value. I'm gonna tighten this up and look at where we are relative to the last. This down move. See how far we are actually. So right now we have touched on the 38.2% level. Hopefully we'll go above this. If we do, if you remember the 60 day, it's right around the same area right now. So if we do push above this, I would expect us to at least test this 50% retracement. That would be 3,500, 3,537. and maybe we do go ahead and pull on higher. Hey, anything that I own, I'm always happy to see make some new highs. But again, I do think, I mean, there are other ways to make money in crypto than just buying and holding and then selling. So I just am trying to give myself a good idea. And so far, all I see is that we are actually we seem to be in a good spot with regards to where we are in Ethereum. I like the fact that we've got some upward movement right now. And, we're going to just hope that continues. I'd love to see that go on higher. So you could see a little support right now would probably be in the 3,055, 60 range to keep this going. Let's do one other thing. If you guys remember, I love seeing channels as well, mostly because it gives you an idea. It lets you see how, like, what the upsides might be. So you could say, okay, well, if we do hold in this 3,040, 50 range, maybe we will bounce. Our next bounce could be up to the 35, 86 level, which ironically was our 50% retracement. So definitely worth keeping an eye on and seeing what's going to happen with all of this. And man, it's great. I'm going to go back to making these videos. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, happy trading.